welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make not the cards themselves. I'm going to show a little bit how to make them, but actually what I'm going to teach you today, look at these. Isn't this the cutest dog you've ever seen? But anyway, I'm going to teach you how to make and how to cut this, how to create and cut these panels here that I used. And you can see that it has some details. It has this stitching around the border here. And I think they add a lot, especially when it's solid. You see it, I think you see it more clearly here. See? I just adore this dog. It's the cutest dog ever. So I'm going to teach you how I made this card, but mainly how to create these panels and how to cut them on ScanNCut. So let's do this. The first thing we're going to do is, of course, open up your Canvas Workspace, and we're going to find a rectangle. And what I'm going to do now is to just resize a rectangle to the size that I want the panel to be. So in this case, it's an A2 card. It's just one of those basic size cards, which is always, they're always 5.5 by 4.25. So the size I like is I just leave a little bit of space because it looks good. I don't want it to cover the whole front of the card as I show you in the beginning. So what I do is the first thing you have to unclick this because otherwise it's not going to let you select whatever size you want. So unclick, and what you're going to do is the width is going to be 5, so it's 5.5. I do 5.25, so it's a little bit smaller, and the height is 4. So that's kind of perfect for me, but of course it depends on what you like. And then it depends if you want it vertical or horizontal. I'm going to do mine this way. Oh, you hold the shift key and you just turn it twice because it goes, if you don't hold it, look what's going to happen. It's kind of hard to know if it's straight or not. So you hold the shift key and it just go in 90 degrees. You let go of it and it's perfect. So this is the size of the panel. So you decide now, the next thing you're going to do is decide what kind of window you want. I'm going to start with a circle. So let's go down, find a circle. There you are. This one I kind of eyeball it because it depends. You may want a small circle, but what I do is I just place it kind of where I want it to go. This is a bit too big for me. So maybe this would be perfect. Yeah, it looks good because I'm going to have the dog right here on the side. So here's you want to make sure that it's aligned, or if you want, you can have it over here. It depends on the design of your card, but I want it aligned. So here's how you do it. You're going to select both. You just hold your mouse and just slide it until both are selected. You go down here on align objects, and you're going to, if you hold it and wait a little bit, it shows. This is going to center it, and that's what I want. I want the little circle to be centered related to the rectangle. So I'm gonna click, see how it moved, and it's perfectly centered here. You can do a lot of things here. Let me just show you. You can center if you want it in the middle. So you click here, it's going to be perfectly centered, but I don't want that. So I'm going to just move it a little bit, and then I'm going to do it again. I just want it centered, but the height, I think this is pretty good where it is. So that's it. So that's the first thing you do. Looks good, but I don't know about you, but I love to have the stitching around the circle. I think it just adds, it's just so cute when you do that. What I do, the easiest way to do that is I copy and paste the circle. So you hold Command C and then Command V, or the other way to do is you just go here, copy, and then paste. Because I'm going to have the circle already, what I do is I just enlarge it a little bit and kind of play around. So well, let me see if this, yeah, it looks good. It looks like the distance is going to be good. And again, if you want to see, to make sure that it's centered, you're going to click on both circles here. Again, you go here and you go center. Sorry, you have to do the middle. Yeah, you have to do the middle now. So it's perfect, right? Again, but I still want to make another change. For it to be, if I leave it like this, it's going to cut both circles. You don't want that. What you want to do is to make sure that it's going to be stitched. So you have to change the line to stitching. You have different ones. This one is kind of longer. I've tried both. I kind of like the way this one looks better. So I'm just going to click on there. See, it's stitched. What we're going to do now to make sure that this doesn't, if I move one, it's going to be misaligned again. So you click on both again. What we're going to do, you can just slide. It's easy. It's always easier to just slide. I'm going to move this kind of away from here so I can play with the circles. So there, you select both. You're going to click on Control Group. There are other ways to group this. And I'm going to show you another way is you can always come here and edit. Can't really find that layer. Let me see. Yeah, it's here on layer, sorry. So you go on layer, it's already grouped, so I can ungroup, but I'm gonna do it again just so you see. You go to layer and you group it. What it does is that now it's just one thing, so you don't run the risk of misaligning it again. So we're gonna do the alignment. It's pretty much kind of like here, that's where I want it. So I'm going to select both and I'm going to come here again and I want to make sure it's centered. Oh, I almost got it right. So there you are. The last thing you want to do here is to group it again because if I'm going to copy and paste this to make it easier, but again, you're going to slide, you're going to go to layers unless you want to use the control group. There you go. Now you can move it around and it's just one thing. Right now you have your panel. You're going to have this cut. You're going to have the inside line here cut, and then this is going to be stitched, which is perfect. So you just move it here. The first panel is ready. To do the other ones, it's the same process, but I'm going to do quickly another one. So I am going to cut and paste because it just makes it easier. I'm going to ungroup this one. So go to layer, ungroup it because I'm going to change this shape here, but I just didn't want to do it again, the sizing and everything. So I'm going to choose another size here just so you see the process again. I think I saw one shape here that I went, oh, that looks good. Let's do this one. No, this one. How about this one? Perfect. Let's move this one. This is a bit too big. I actually place it here to see if that's the window I want. It was still too big. Maybe now a little bit smaller. There you go. I kind of eyeball it and just pull it. And okay, looks good. So I'm gonna do the same thing I did with the circle because I want the stitching again. I just think it looks much better if you have the stitching. So the second one, you're gonna make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, you can move this, right? And just so I make sure these two are aligned, here's what we're gonna do. We're going to select both. There we go again. And we're gonna click on these two. So they look perfect, right? I'm going to I should have done this before, but you have the outer layer. Again, you're going to come here and you're going to click on this because otherwise it's going to cut the larger one. See, looks perfect. Stitching again. Let's group. So you can go to, again, layer, group it because you want to make sure that you don't screw it up and it's already aligned. So here we're gonna have, and this is what I actually do. I always make more than one. Let's align these two again to make sure that this is centered. We're gonna come here, Click on center, align, perfect. I think the height is perfect, but I could just move it around if I didn't want it. We're going to group. I always group things because otherwise you have to redo your work. There you go, group. So I already have two panels here. See how easy it is? And you can play around with all these and do this. This would look good. This would look good. Just play around with whatever shape you want. It depends on the card that you're going to make. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go and get this beauty's cut. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get two of each. So Control C or Command C if it's Macintosh. So you're going to edit. I'm going to cut and paste. I'm going to do this here so it's easier for you. Some people don't feel like they want to use the, there you go, copy, edit again, paste. So you have two of each. I just want to, I don't know about you guys, but I always like to do more than one card. I never make one card. I just think it's a waste of time to go through the trouble of making one card. So here we have 4 panels ready, and that's what I'm gonna do. Next thing I'm gonna do is send this to the machine. You click here, transfer via internet, and the machine is ready to download, and that's where we're gonna go now. Okay, so here we are. Now I am going to run my machine. I already took care of the paper, and I thought this paper was perfect for a dog because they're kind of kings, at least in my house, mine is. So I'm gonna show you. Let me just focus on this so you can see well what I'm gonna do. Okay, I already loaded my paper. You just click here to load your paper. And what I'm going to do is retrieve data because I sent it through internet, remember? And it's going to retrieve that file that we worked on the computer. Here it is, it's perfect. What I'm going to do next is I want to see the paper and where it's aligned, even though it's a 12 by 12 paper, but it's just so you learn also because when you have pattern paper, it's nice to just see it. So I'm going to scan it. And now it's going to scan the paper so I will see exactly where these panels are positioned. Let's wait a little bit. There you go. And you're going to see, it shows the paper pattern here. I don't know if you can see. Let me go a little bit closer. There you go. See? You can see the paper pattern. And sometimes it's important to see the pattern because depending on where it's going to be, it does make a difference. It's good to know where you placing all these, where you cutting and everything. So it looks pretty good to me. So let me just zoom in a little bit. It makes it easier for you to see. Looks good. I'm not going to move these things around, but of course you know that you can. You can just click and just pull it and put it wherever you want it to be. But I'm just gonna move a little bit closer here because then I'll have left over here because I have an idea on what to do with that. Looks good to me. So you click on save, select, cut. It's good, all looks good. I'm going to start my machine. 8 minutes, you're not gonna have to wait that, of course. I'm just gonna come back when it's done. But it's doing its work, look at that. It's already doing it. Okay, so here they are. Let me show you the panel first. One of them I'm going to put together just the last card so you see. You see the etching, you see the stitching here. It looks really cute. I know that I think it looks better when it's solid because you see it more. Let me show you one example. See, you see the stitching on this one. Looks really, so here are the cards that I made. I like to show my final product. I actually made this because I want to send one to my sister. She's like a dog lover. She always sends me the cutest cards. And she's this week I just received one, and That's with one of her dogs. How cute is that? She's always sending me these beautiful cards with her dogs. So I decided that I was going to make some dog cards for her. Oh, but guys, before I put together the last one, I want to show you the sentiments. These are the best dog sentiments ever. I mean, look at this. This one. Some days you're the dog, some days you're the hydrant. I just love that. So I put different sentiments in each one. That's another one. Here, be the person your dog thinks you are. Very cute. And the last one, sorry, you're having a rough day. So this is for someone who's kind of struggling, having a hard time, and I mean, who isn't during COVID, right? And the last one, let's just put it together. Let me just show you the sentiment. Oh, you make my tail wag. I'm going to show you which I actually used two different stamp sets. One of them is this one, and I have the horrible habit of not keeping the packet, the packaging for my stamp sets. I just put them in places like this with the when I have dies, which I don't need anymore because I have ScanNCut now. But anyway, I don't know if anyone knows, just comment. Please put in the comments below because this is a stamp set that I use a lot because of the sentiments. I love the dogs too, and I can actually make a cute card with this. I'm going to show you one day how to use this too. It's really cute, but it's beautiful, and I just don't know which company makes this. So if anyone knows, let me know. And the other one, I can't actually find it because this dog comes from another stamp set. I'm gonna make sure it's Hero Arts that I remember, but it's a little tiny one. I will put it in the description below. Okay, so the last one, that's what you do. I mean, these are the panels that we got cut. You can actually use either side. They're both very cute. I love them. I actually like this color too. But the thing is, the stitching only shows on one side. The other one doesn't really show much. See? You can hardly see it. So I think I'm just going to use the, oh, but I just love the green. You know what? I'm going to use the green. I already have the dog with this. I'm going to use some glue. Kind of messy here because this glue is kind of thick, but that's fine. Just some around. There you go. Should be enough. Now let's just put this together. Some wiggle room. That's why I like to use this kind of glue because you have time to move it around if you need. It allows you to slide a little bit. So there you go. And then I use a little bit of foam adhesive on the back to give it some dimension. All of them have, you see that it's kind of sticking out. See, give some dimension. And here it goes. That's the last one. Sometimes I put the sentiment in front of the card, but in this case, I just thought, nah, the sentiment will go inside. There's already a lot going on. And if you want to color your dogs, of course, that would look cute too. How great is that? You make my tail wag. It's a good one for Valentine's. So here they are. Oh, and I actually added, look at this one. He's the king. I cut one of these and I just added to the dog. And so 4 cards. We made those 4 panels and they all look great. Well, thank you so much for being with me. And I'll see you next time. I'm going to have a lot of videos on using ScanNCut and making different kind of stuff because I'm a crafter and I don't do just cards. I do a lot and I'm going to teach you everything I know. Thank you.